The City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Greetings, Los Angeles. Welcome to episode 271 of the Heart of LAFC podcast. That is right. We're here. You're looking at the faces on the screen going, what is going on here? For very important reasons, definitely. Our brother Jerry Jimenez is back for this episode.
I'm back.
For as long as we'll have him, of course. For very important reasons, of course, that's because our good friend Ben is also on tonight. To talk things over and talk about his future in the game. And Jerry, of course, with the experience of being on both sides of the stand, can tell you guys all about that as well. So, yeah, this is kind of going to be a little bit of a celebration of Ben. And then, of course, we'll talk about change, which is the name of this episode, and everything going on with LAFC. But in order to properly do this, let's introduce everybody and get moving. You heard Jerry is here. You heard Ben is here. Araceli is here, and Tony as well. Bam will be joining us soon once things stabilize on his end, and then we will keep on moving here. First and foremost, let's say hi to the Podfather himself. Jerry, how are you doing tonight?
I'm great, sir. I'm so glad to be on here with you guys. It's an honor to be back here. It's been a little while, but I missed you guys, and so I'm just happy to be back and get to chat a little bit of LAFC and kind of give Benjamin his proper farewell too, which I know we'll do in a little bit.
Without a doubt. Ben, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Joseph. Hi, Araceli. Hi, Tony. Hey, Jerry. Podfather's here. Yeah, I'm just super happy to be on with everybody. Hopefully we'll get Bam here on soon. But yeah, just excited. I can't really explain how happy I am to be here with you guys and to share the news.
We are beyond proud of you, man. Seeing the work that you've put in over the years, going to the games in the middle of a pandemic, just to get coverage, just to get movement, getting writing in at weird hours, working hard, man. That was you. I know for a while there, we were looking at you possibly moving in to write for MLS. Things didn't quite work out, but now, very obviously, things don't work out for a reason. And ultimately, the best things happen, right? If you're patient, you keep working hard, and things like this happen. So we are proud of you, man. And we knew it was only a matter of time before you were going to get in, and get into a career related to this beautiful game. It's not our team, right? But it's still in the MLS universe, right?
Yeah, it's not a rival.
Exactly. And it's a new team, right? So you get to be one of those guys that introduces us to St. Louis, right?
Louis, yep.
And gets us the heads up, and you get to help build a culture over there. Right. And that's awesome, man. So Ben, explain to us exactly what are you going to be doing over at St. Louis?
Yeah, so starting Monday, I'm going to start my role as the player relations manager for MLS's newest expansion team, St. Louis City SC. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is, just providing the admin support, enhancing communication among players, their families, the coaches, the staff, just kind of taking care of all the logistical details of travel, training, and match day operations, just kind of helping the players integrate into the St. Louis community smoothly. So yeah, a lot of that. I'm really excited. I'm really a little scared, because it's a big move for me, for my wife to, it's a new city, brand new environment. But yeah, I'm just excited, ready to get started. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to it.
So you're quite literally integrating into St. Louis at the same time as the players that you're actually integrating into St. Louis.
Yeah, it's going to be a learning process for both of us. But, I'm sure after a few weeks, I'll get the hang of it.
Dude, it's outstanding. I know the guys behind that over here that put in the work to get the LAFC players situated, get them furniture, just basic things like that. Yeah. And you would think, oh, it's not a big deal. Well, it really is. If this is, your first trip to the United States, dealing with the culture and all the madness that we put in here. It's tough. And then, of course, on the other side of things, there are different ways people train, different ways people live.
Yeah.
You got to take care of their families too. It's much deeper. And knowing that you're going to be the guy doing that, as stand up as you are, as consistent as you have been for years, dude, you're going to shine, man. And I'm going to hand this over to Jerry, because he's known you we're honestly, the three of us are the originals. Like he was the original, right? Created it. But you and I, we were the first add-ons. We were from the early days. So Jerry, I'm going to hand it over to you, man. You have the floor, man.
I wouldn't call you guys add-ons. I would call you guys upgrades. No, but honestly, like so my idea when Heart of LAFC started many years ago, and that's weird for me to say now, it was always about the community. It was always about the culture and the people that are a part of this awesome community. You guys don't need me to tell you that. But I always knew that I wanted it to be something that could be used as a platform for others, not just myself and getting to know other people, but just to be able to grow the community as much as possible. And I think that when I brought on Joseph, we had this discussion about wanting to do a blog part to the podcast in articles. Let's bring in some somebody to write articles for the website that will lead people into the website too, and maybe give somebody a platform to do that. Obviously, we were very open about it. We can't afford to pay you. We basically pay to have to do this podcast, but Benjamin jumped in and said, "Hey, can I write for you guys?" And it was like, "Yeah, of course, man. Let's do it." And kind of knowing in the back of our heads, right, Joe, that there's a possibility that this guy might just write a couple, and that's fine. Just we'll give him that platform. He asked, so let's do it. And man, I can't begin to explain how fulfilling, how good it feels that we were able to give you this platform to just do your thing. I knew from the beginning, Ben, that you were going to do much bigger things. And so, like, this right here is that culmination for me where I'm like, all right, my idea of starting this, like, it worked out. Like, this right here is payment enough for all the hours that I spend on this. I don't want to speak for Joseph, but I know that Joseph feels very similar to me too. We spend a lot of time and effort to make this podcast and this community the best that it could be, and to bring in different voices and different people. And I think that it has become that, and I'm just super proud to be a small part of that, honestly, because I really feel like this is everybody's show. It's never been about me or Joseph or anybody that's on the podcast. It's been about the community at the end of the day. And dude, like, it brings me so much joy, Ben. I can't even begin to explain, dude, how proud I am. And just, I know you're gonna kill it. Like, I just know. And I'm sad because you won't be writing anymore, but that, you know what? It's for the betterment of you, and that's what matters. Super excited, man. I'm just so happy, and congratulations, brother.
No, thank you, Jerry. I really appreciate your kind words. I mean, they mean everything to me. I still remember calling you, having that phone call with you, asking you, like, can I write? And you were just so, like, open-minded, and jump on board. And ever since then, I knew that, I couldn't let, like, you down. I couldn't let myself down. I couldn't let Joseph down. I knew I had, like, a responsibility to, for the fans, and just the support that I got from the fans themselves. Oh, I love your work. You're doing great reporting, and that just kept me going. And you guys, same way. Joseph telling me that we're getting a lot of clicks on the website. The articles are doing great, and just all that fuels me to keep going. And I could not have done it without all of you guys.
Dude, you earned it, man. You pushed your way through this. Again, I'm going to mention those years where we were all shut down thanks to the pandemic, right? You were using the press pass for Heart of LAFC to actually go in the press box, taking it seriously, doing write-ups, right? Becoming a source for the LAFC faithful, where it came to a point where you were getting the news pretty much before everybody in the Twitterverse, right? Everybody wants to get that edge, and you just casually went, yeah, well, this is what's happening. And it wasn't like to scoop anybody, but just saying it as it is. And then you became that trusted source. So even beyond just the writing, everyone knew that if you said it, it was happening. It's on, like there's something there. And for that, dude, we'll be forever thankful. And when I talk about the pandemic, like I remember because I went to some of the games. I'd go to the week ones. You'd go to the weekends, and you'd have to get all masked up and prepped and all this madness just to get into the stadium. I mean, I just sit across the box. Usually it was Vince, right, that would get boxed in with. And you'd take it serious, man. You'd put the notes in. You'd watch this game as hard as it was to watch. Because for me, every time I went, it was a very sad situation, seeing an empty, cavernous stadium. But you did it too, man. And you did it way more than I did. And still, you didn't miss a beat. You felt it. You knew what was happening on the field by the way that you were riding. And so for me, it was refreshing, right? To see someone with new eyes on the game, a new perspective. And a knowledgeable one, man. Like we're forever going to be thankful. Forever,
dude, I used to be so jealous of him. Whenever he got news before me, I'd be like, what is happening here? I'm the podfather, dang it. No, I'm just kidding.
He always had it, man.
No, it was always good to hear from him too. And then Ben would be like, hey, did you hear about this? I'd be like, yeah, sure. Of course I did. Like, no, but yeah, it's so true though, man. Like you stuck with it. And I honestly, at any point in time, like you knew you had the freedom to do whatever you wanted. If you would have been like, yeah, you know what, I don't have time for this anymore. You weren't getting paid. So it wasn't like we were going to be like, nah, you have to keep writing. But you just kept it going on your own because you were good at it. You loved it. And we are forever grateful for you, dude. We really are.
Yeah, thank you, Jerry. I don't know what to say. Just thank you for everything. I mean, that's all I can say, to be honest. Just super grateful for supporting me, for sticking with me all these years, and yeah, just thank you.
We're all gonna ask. We sleep on your couch for the next away day.
Oh yes.
Yeah, why not? As soon as I find a place.
Somebody in the
He's
chat
gonna help the players and help us find lodging in St. Louis. It's gonna be brilliant.
He's gonna set us up. Somebody in the chat, I have to highlight this real quick. Daniel Angel said Ben is Pooh. POOH, part of our history. Love that.
Oof, there it is.
Oh my gosh.
That's nice. And of course, I'm going to throw it over to Bam for the moment here. You just threw the comment up there, man. Anything you'd like to say, brother?
Ben, thank you for everything you've done on writing for us and all that kind of stuff. If I could write 1/10 of how you could write, I would be doing that. But I'm just absolute trash, all that kind of stuff. So thanks for doing all that kind of stuff. And again, just Jerry's in the house, Podfather's in their house. If it wasn't for him deciding to do this one day, we wouldn't be where we are. With me just coming in on this episode, Jerry where he is, Tony being Tony, Joseph Araceli, and Ben.
What? Chopped liver stuff over here. What's going on?
And it's just like, as Tony mentioned before we went live, it's the way it's set up. The three of us up top are the current ones who do this for fun, and the three down below have been through this and have moved on to bigger and better things. So if people want to move on to bigger, better things in the MLS, come knock. We can help you out in that way.
That's awesome. At any level, at any city. Look at this, man. I mean, Araceli's covering MLS Next, which is the emerging thing, right? Ben's got St. Louis covered. Jerry is in an emerging market. I mean, let's be real. San Diego right now is the buzz. It is the buzz. You have the women's team doing well. You have the Sockers who have been around since, the Stone Age and still doing what they do. And now you have the rumors of an MLS side out of the Loyal, a USL side, I should say, could be MLS one day, where the buzz is legitimate. And Jerry, you'll attest to this. I went to the All-Star game back in the day when it was in San Diego and nobody showed up. And at that point, the league was like, we're done with this market. It's not happening. We're out. And always seeing pro teams come and go. Remember the Flash and all the other teams back in the day. It just never stuck. But now we're in a situation where teams look stable. They look legitimate. We have Snapdragon right there, right? Ready to go. It's different. It's a different vibe. And to have Jerry there, seeing how it gave birth here, right, for LAFC, you're kind of right in the middle of the storm, aren't you, Jerry?
A little bit, yeah. It's an interesting time right now because it's still like San Diego's terrible when it comes to making things happen. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that, and I think everybody knows that by now. I remember You're talking about the MLS All Stars game, and then I remember when I first got into MLS, it was through Chivas USA, right? Dead Goats, and they played a game against Cholos at Torero Stadium, which is where San Diego Loyo is playing right now, and it was empty except for Cholos fans and the Black Army, and that was it. It was like craziness. And then you know what? I lied. There also was some Union Ultras there, but it was it almost wasn't welcoming, you know? It wasn't a welcoming atmosphere. It was like so many like little groups, and the stadium was empty. And now you see it, and the people are showing up. And I think that there's still a lot of growth to happen. But I mean, we're all an example of that. I think, you know, we've gone through so many years now of following the sport just in general, not just MLS, but everything else, USL, NWSL, the men's and the women's national team, things like that. You're starting to see it where other places are getting it now. San Diego still has a long way to go, but that goes along with a lot of other places, right? We see Las Vegas too with MLS possibility, and then it kind of died down a bit. There's also a Las Vegas indoor team coming soon, right? And that's something that was put out there. It looks like, if it's still happening, because I haven't heard about this in a while, but it was put out that Ronaldinho is going to be part owner of that team. And so, like, little by little, we're getting to where we want to be. But I think one of the really quick story for you guys, like when I had this conversation with Joseph, we're talking about the importance of kind of doing a podcast and doing things that were going to involve the community more. It was about us being able to, in the future, have a place for our kids to walk into and be like, this is our home. Like, this is ours. This is our community. These are our people. And it wasn't so much about us. It was about our kids and the future. And I think we're slowly getting there. So it's really exciting, man. It's really cool. Right now, things have slowed down again with San Diego and MLS and whatnot. I'm not too worried about that. I'm concentrating on the now and trying to enjoy my time in NWSL and with the Soccers as well. But yeah, man, it's so good to see that also the people that have been involved, soccer people, are now getting positions that could change things within the sport, right? Ben being the perfect example, having somebody like Araceli as well, who is so involved with the sport in KC and now in LA as well. And it's just so good to see that soccer people are really now coming into the leagues and making a difference. I don't think we had that, Joseph, because there wasn't really soccer for people to be soccer people for. I mean, unless you were really into it and like passionate about the world's game, you know, and you followed like the EPL or other leagues, then yes. But until recently, I feel like, you know, when, for me at least, I guess, when an LAFC came in, like that's when it really felt like, okay, things are starting to change for the right ways, because uh teams that came in after all have had that same mentality of, all right, we're going to be the world's team. We're going to be the team that is global, not just for our markets. And that in itself, I think, is helping grow that too. So, I mean, that's just my 2 cents.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, we know you would root for a team for as long as it lived, and that was it. Not as long as you lived, as long as it lived. On to the next.
Yep.
That's not the case anymore. Not with these stadiums coming up, not with any of it. And to attest to that, and now second division teams jumping in as well. That's going to be even more, where you're now creating opportunities for young players. It's not just the one and done, right? 18 players, forget it. Good luck, go play somewhere else. No, it's now doubling that, right? Whereas Araceli comes in and she's covering the next side. Araceli's like, anything to say to Ben, since you guys are now pretty much neighbors?
It's interesting here because it almost feels like a passing the torch type of moment, because how we've mentioned the history of the Heart of LAFC pod. Like, I still remember Jerry reaching out to me, maybe like 5 years ago, and like, hey, can you be on the pod in a half hour to talk sporting? Like, I still remember that moment.
I'm terrible.
And getting to speak with you guys, and it's crazy to see where we're all at now. Fast forward, so many years. And I remember when I was kind of in a sticky situation, I still needed an outlet to write for. And Jerry was actually the first one I had called, and he told me to get in touch with Joseph. And fast forward, here we are, now part of the pod fam, which is great, and kind of joined alongside Ben with the writing. But of course, we all know I took the position with MLS Next Pro. So unfortunately, the writing did kind of have to take a back seat for a little bit. But regardless, I'm so excited for Ben. I can't wait to have him here in the Midwest with me. I see we're kind of already twinning in a sense, wearing almost the same Nike shirt. But I've definitely been already kind of giving him tips on Midwest living and kind of what to expect. And I'm just really excited. I can't wait to see you help continue grow the culture. I've been fortunate to follow St. Louis last season because of Next Pro, and they have an amazing fan base, a great front office, and just to watch you continue grow that culture is going to be exciting. So I can't wait to work with you.
Thanks, Arsai. That means a lot. The weather is going to be cold next week, man. I checked. It's like 20 degrees.
That's warm to us. Okay. See, that's little things you're going to need to get used to. But the only thing we don't have out here are mountains. Okay. That's basically the only thing. So at least you don't have to worry about earthquakes. Okay. That's something.
What about tornadoes?
That's not till June, but you will be fine. Don't worry.
All right.
No matter what Tony tells you, you're going to be okay.
All right.
Tony's like, and I'm the one guy nobody asked anything about. So I'm going to throw it to you, Tony. Look, he's dying right now.
Man.
Anything you'd like to say to Ben, man?
Thank you for everything, Ben, honestly. Reading your articles, everything you've done for us and your career, I appreciate everything. I'm happy that you're moving to pursue your career more into just sports in general. Who knows where that could lead? Because again, NBA and NFL usually poach from the MLS if you do a great enough job. So thank you for that. I'm going to miss you just here on the pod. Like, I know I can still reach out, we can talk, and when I go out there, hang out with you, maybe not Araceli, but all I know is you guys are now, both of y'all, rivals at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So we'll love to see that banter on social media. So thank you,
Tony. Thank you. No, and the memory I have of you is you I don't know if you remember at the MLS Cup celebration, you talked to me and my wife, and you were really friendly to her, and she really appreciated that. And you just like, and I saw you at the what was it, the pregame party at the MLS Cup too. So you every time I see you, you're always just good vibes, friendly, and I really like that about you. And you really put in the work in the supporter section, and I just always admired that about you. And keep doing what you do and keep coming on the pod. And thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
man. Just take a picture, because this is cool. Just seeing where we're all going, where we're all headed. No one's a stranger, of course, and I'm pretty certain we'll see you guys in and out on the pod as well as we go forward. But yes, forever thankful, forever grateful, and honored to be with all you guys. It's been one heck of a run so far. Can you tell? Cool. So I think you guys are going to stay on for a little bit longer, right? For a little more?
Yeah, I'll hang out for a bit.
All right, so we're going to get into the news. They're definitely going to dial in, because Ben is still the insider. Jerry was the insider. Ben is the insider. Until he gets on that plane, we know. So, all right, let's get into the mix. Talk about it a bit. Gosh, this is gonna be fun. All right, let's jump into it. You heard the Twitter chatter, the positives, the negatives, all that fun stuff. But guess what? That's right. BMO is up. Bank is down. We're a different bank. BMO, it's up there. I know the colors are the conversation. To me, the money is the bigger conversation, and the fact that we actually have a cash flow off of that stadium, which gives us a chance to move forward. It's nice. It's good. I get the aesthetic issue, but it's not like a jersey where you can switch it out from year to year. It's pretty heavy stuff, and the brand is important. I'll throw it to you, Bam. What do you think, man?
Oh, sorry, I thought you said Ben there. Yeah, it is what it is. Like, as I said last episode, doesn't matter what color it is on the outside, the signage, all that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter. All that matters is what color's on the inside, which is always your black and gold. That's for sure.
Exactly. And I'll throw this one over to Jerry now. He's like, what? He's already throwing me into the mix. Snapdragon. I couldn't tell you what that company is or what it is. I don't care. There's just a new stadium in San Diego. I mean, that should kind of be the vibe here is you got a sponsor, you got a stadium, be happy, right?
Yeah, but it is a little bittersweet. I'm not gonna lie. Joe, you and I got to see that thing before it was done. We got to walk in there and see that stadium go up. And we knew it as Bank of California Stadium, and so this change, I think it was inevitable. We all knew stadiums change and or stadium names change, and so I think for me it was like the end of an era type of thing. But and how sweet though was it that one of the stars under the crest, because there's many more to come, but that star will be under the Bank of California Stadium, and so I think I just take that with me, and Bam put it perfectly, man. I will not be able to beat that. It doesn't matter what's on the outside and what it says. It's what's inside the colors. The colors inside are the ones that matter, and that's gonna remain black and gold. So I love that, Bam. That was awesome, dude. But just my thoughts is, yeah, bittersweet. I don't absolutely hate it, but I mean, I just, dude, we saw it in its infancy stages. So to me, there's a little bit more sentimental, like attachment to the name Bank of California Stadium, but it's just a name. It is what it is.
Yeah. I think the only thing I'm really gonna miss about Bank of California Stadium is probably the logo that Marcus created.
Yeah,
that thing was pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
The bank.
Oh,
it wasn't
remember
the
when
bank
people
itself.
were calling it the what was it, the oh man, shoot, that logo looked like the what's that darn president that I am now forgetting because I don't care about him.
Oh, with the bad haircut?
Yes, that.
Yeah. Okay. That one. That one.
Yeah. He who shall not be
Yeah.
named.
No, it's true, but it had a good look. I was hoping somehow, some way, it will always be there, right? We have it on our scarves and stuff, but yeah, I wish that one could have just switched over as well. Didn't, but yeah, definitely part of our history, and yeah, I'm there. Tony, oh Ben, Tony's saying something. What up, Tony? I don't know. Dead air from him.
No,
All right.
I gotta go in a couple minutes, but I'll give my 2 cents here on the stadium. Yeah, it's just like what Jerry said, very bittersweet on the naming. It just, the bank just has a nice ring to it. Just kind of like Staples Center. You always know it as Staples Center. The bank is kind of the same thing, but I'm just happy that the last game that was played at the bank was MLS Cup final, and just like a perfect ending to that stadium's history. And I mean, BMO is not terrible. I mean, we'll get used to it eventually, but yeah, I mean, the bank is just going to be always historic to me.
Yeah, an era, end of an era. A lot of players like Blessing, right? Guys leaving. It's a transition. You're champions now, right? And things do change. This is just one of those. Why we call the episode "Change" for very obvious reasons, right? All around us here.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm at. Tony, did you want to add anything, or we're good on this one, man?
It's still the bank. It's just a K instead of a C. Logo's different. Everything else. The cool thing about it, if we have to mention anything cool about BMO, is Mo. Like, what a perfect transition is from winning the championship with Bank of California and its send off to now we can just literally call the Mo Stadium if we want to say, or we can be BMO, as in be like him, be a supporter like him, like how he was. We can use that inspirational wise anyway. So yes, the money's fine. Stadiums change. That's the rule of the game. You know what I mean? Teams change, players change, we all change. You can be sentimental, but you also have to evolve and move on.
I did like that from Jonathan Reimer. That's right. Calling it the Mo the minute he saw the name pop. And I think that's a cool vibe. I dig that vibe. I'm sticking with that one too, man. Anytime you say BMO, it's got Mo, and it's another good memory of the man. All love to him. We miss him so much. This is just one of those, and maybe that's a sign in and of itself, right? That's our way to be able to continue it. But I know, Ben, that you're heading out. You gotta go. You gotta go move. Are you gonna do? I know you got some stuff you're selling, and you gotta get moving. So, I think before we transition to the next one, we're gonna give you a chance to make an escape here, and it definitely sends you on your way, man. To St. Louis. Keep us updated. We can't wait to see you again once you get out there, and I know eventually some of us will definitely make our way out to games out there. It's only a matter of time. And of course, when we get previews, I think there might be one coming up soon.
Yeah.
We'll get you back on for sure.
Sounds good.
That's for
Thank
sure.
you,
So
Joseph.
thank you, man. Any last
Thank
things
you.
you'd like to add to it, dude?
No, just super grateful for all you guys. Just, I mean, I don't have any words to say thank you to what you guys have done for me, and yeah, just forever grateful. And I can't wait to see you guys again in person, and hopefully in St. Louis and also in LA. So yeah, thank you.
Awesome, man. Thank
Love
you,
you,
brother.
dude.
And go, Jerry.
No, I'm just saying, love you.
Yep, all love. All right, Benny, we're gonna let you go for the night.
All right.
Safe travels, sir. Until we meet again, man.
All right. Thank you, guys. Good night.
Hey, one thing I did want to
All right.
say though, Joseph,
Mhm.
how lucky are those dudes over at Defenders of the Bank? Don't have to change their name. Jerks. I'm
We've
just
made
kidding.
jokes about this. Yes. Yeah. From a C to a K. I like Dexter quickly making a poster with the K instead of the C. Well done, Dex.
That's hilarious.
That was cool, man. That was cool. They got lucky. They definitely got lucky. I honestly thought it was gonna be like Yamava or Rockstar. I think we were making jokes about Rockstar. Yeah,
Rockstar Stadium doesn't sound bad.
it doesn't. It doesn't, but that's a lot
Yeah.
of dough.
Defenders said they
honestly-
were
No
never
way.
going to change.
Yeah.
No, they
It's true.
didn't.
No, they put it in
They
the comments right now. They
Never
said-
was going to change.
Yeah.
What Defenders, are you gonna change to a K or gonna keep it at a C? Inquiring minds want to know.
No, they don't care. They're gonna keep
They're
it.
not gonna it's tradition.
They know I give they know I love them. So I give them crap whenever I can. But you know what I love about this community too is like, again, you're talking about the BMO, and Mo, and like how we immediately connected that to the community and made it ours. Like that is just the way that this community works, you know. And I just love that so much, man. I love it.
Every little bit of this club, every piece of this club, and I pray to the Lord they don't lose this. It was supporter driven. It was community action. It was collaboration from all levels within the club, outside of the club, within the city. It's always been something that we've worked on together at some stage. There was always community input. And in this case, whether they get input in the creation of this, they're going to make it their own, like you said, Jerry. And so the community input just again takes over because it's just what we do. We expect this, right? That we're going to have something to say, and it's welcomed. And that's the beauty of LAFC is you're not going to get shot down. We're not going to coffee and make guys stop calling it. Never, ever will that happen. It's going to be like, well, let the creative juices flow. I think we've talked to Rich about this, right, Jerry, where it's like, whether it's positive, whether it's negative, it's energy. And if the community wants to take things in a direction, don't stifle the energy. And this, here we go again.
The last
Without
thing
a
that I
doubt.
would say and add to this, Joe, and this is something that you and I say to everybody, and we'll continue to say it forever and ever. In a team, players come and go, coaching staffs come and go, front office staff comes and go. Names of stadiums come and go. The only thing that never changes is the supporters, and that is the club. This is your club, and so own that, and understand and believe that that is your club because it is, and that's it.
Love it, man. Thank you, Jerry, for that. He's right. It's proven itself time and time again. And in season 6, it hasn't gone away yet. And may the club never ever lose sight of that. It'll only keep going. We'll keep taking things over, just like we're going to take over Costa Rica. We're going to take over Pasadena. It's love. It's community. That's what wins the day. The minute you lose it, you simply do. You lose it. right? There's an edge, and it's good to see that it's alive and it's strong. So, all good things. All right, Jerry, you gonna stick around for a little bit longer?
No, I do have to get going. I just there's a couple of things I need to finish, so I better go. But I will still listen in. I love you guys. Thank you so much for having me on. And hopefully this won't be the last time. Yo, could invite me once in a while. I don't mind coming in here, just chatting it up with y'all. I
Well,
miss
we
y'all.
are
Oh,
playing San Diego, so
give it a
Oh,
few weeks. Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
let's do
Yeah,
that.
we
Let's
are
do a
playing the
preview.
Loyals soon. So
Yeah, let's do that. I want to come in and do a preview with you guys. I'm inviting myself.
I
Man.
100%, dude. You can always invite yourself. You already know that, man. You just go, hey, link, and the link shows up. It
Oh,
ain't
dang.
even gonna be an issue there.
Oh, all right.
Unless you work for Carson, that's the only time where the link dies. But that's not happening ever,
No.
right? You're like me. Your blood would dry up. You'd become a
Mm.
mummy. You'd fall over dead on the floor. It's not happening.
Dude, you
It's
said that and
never
I
happening.
cringed. I was like, oh god.
That's how bad I feel with that one. So,
Yeah.
dude, always and forever, Jerry. You know that.
Hey, I appreciate you
Keeper
guys.
of
The keeper, the keeper. Don't call me that.
keeper of
No,
the culture, right? For
I
sure.
love that, and I love all of the love that I get from all of you. But honestly, like I'm so happy that this is continuing to go, and that's because of you, Joe. And I'm so grateful for all of you continuing this podcast and continuing to grow the community. Thank you guys for the space. Thank you guys for letting me on. And honestly, like just super proud of all the work that you guys do, and so proud to finally be able to say that we're champions. So that I haven't been on since then. So I just want to throw that in there. We knew it was going to happen. It took 5 years, but we did it. So there you go.
It was a matter of time.
It was
Yep.
a matter of
Thank
time.
you, brother. Good stuff, man. All right, let's let you go get some sleep because I know this guy's working 2 jobs now.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He's gonna write this down like, oh no, it's not a big deal, man. I work with 2 teams. One's only part time. This dude barely sleeps. You got to know how hard he's putting in the
Look
work.
at,
So
I swear I
Yeah.
haven't been smoking anything. These are my tired eyes.
earned, and you're enjoying every minute, and you know it, and
love
you
it.
know it. So, all love, Jerry. Any of you guys want to add anything in before you let him escape?
see you in a couple of weeks. Back on the
All right.
pod and on the field, and you're not welcome in North End.
Except for maybe beers before the game. But just maybe. All right, Jerry. Have a good night, sir. You made your escape.
Guys.
See you soon, brother.
Bye.
All right, it's always a blessing to have those guys on. And you know you're gonna be back again. They're on their way for their jobs, but you know the family never changes. They're always gonna be Pod fam. They're always gonna be Heart of LAFC. So all good things. All right, let's get into the mix. Other things we need to talk about. And Bam, you were watching this game, so I'm gonna jump onto this one because it's kind of a fun one to talk about. But that would be, of course, Mamadou Fall. Tell us how that one went, man.
Well, first of all, I'm going to start off with saying that Mamadou Fall now has a new player management. So he's left his old one and he's now being managed by Interstar Deporte. So people like Interstar Deporte, who the hell are they? Some of the players that are listed as being part of their group ranges from Paul Torres, who's a centre back from Villarreal. The other ones like Jordi Alba, he's part of that as well. So these guys do some big name players, and Fall's just signed for him, so it's going to be great for not only his career, but hopefully it will be great for the pocket of LAFC once he gets signed. So going with the last game, Villarreal played Girona, and it was about 1 a.m. kickoff, 2 a.m. kickoff my time. I'm like, gets to about midnight. I'm like, I'll go to bed soon. I'll check the lineup. Checking through the lineup, and who would I see sitting on the bench for Villarreal, but other than Mamadou Fall. So I'm like, all right, cool. I got to find this game. Found it on Optus Sport here in Australia. I went, got to watch this game. First 60 minutes was quite a good game. Then next minute, I look over, and I see this.
God,
That's
a
the
beautiful
one
sight.
and only Mamadou Fall getting subbed in for Villarreal. So I'm like, that's awesome. Definitely got to watch the game now. So he comes in for Cuenca, who was going off a bit injured. He got injured in the first half, but kept playing on. He ended up playing for the last 30 minutes of the game. Had some really good touches. He wasn't playing his normal centre-back role. He was playing more of a right-back, which is interesting because they were only playing 3 at the back at this stage. With about 10 minutes to go, still 0-0. Gennaro gets a player sent off, and then after saving one penalty a little bit later, they can't save the second penalty, and Villarreal goes on to win 1-0. For the second penalty, it would have been called if Mamadou Fall's shot was on target when he jumped from the corner. It actually went across the face of goal, and they called a penalty for holding in the box. So if he had scored a goal on his debut, it would have been even better. With all this, he's not coming back to LAFC. He's definitely not coming back. I suspect that we should get around the 10 mil mark for him, if not more.
10 mil for a player who last season struggled to get into the lineup because of age. Let's be honest, the youth side of things. But this move and this success by Fall just opened up a pipeline for LAFC. You're not seeing it yet, but you will soon. $10 million comes our way, and now every player of his age, right, is now going, there's an outlet. They're looking over here. A La Liga side looking over here, and it's real, and it can happen. An MLS player can be raised in MLS, develop, and get their shot. It's fantastic. It helps us so much to have this happen.
100%.
Got to be proud. Got to be happy once again.
Yeah. Now, for all those that work from home or have Monday off, at midday Monday, Villarreal will play Rayo Vallecano. That's midday Monday kickoff for you guys. So 7 a.m. Tuesday for me. So if you're free, highly recommend watching it. I'd be surprised if he's not at least on the bench for that game.
Yeah, I think because I mean he's already got minutes. Why would he not? And you said a player he came off for a guy that probably hurt, right?
Yeah,
or at least nursing it. Yeah, the opening's right there for sure. All right, so Mamadou's on his way. Another player is not coming back, and I think none of us are really surprised by this. Really, let's be honest. And that, of course, would be Teo. Mr. Teo is gone. He's went off to Saudi Arabia. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's gone to Al Fatch SC, who are currently 8th in the Saudi Pro League.
Interesting.
So mid-table.
Take the money and run. Can't blame him at this point in his career. Go for it. Yeah, and honestly, he'll start over there. There's no question. He's going to get his minutes that he wants. He's going to get the paycheck that he needs. He doesn't have a lot of years left in him, so again, it makes sense for him. For us, yeah, a little sad to see him go, but we really didn't know him that well. You know, for us, we didn't get much out of him. His history is good, but with us, not a whole lot. So I don't feel too bad about that. Of course, players are leaving. There is one that's also still out of contract. The last one. Right? This is the last out of contract player from last season, and that, of course, would be Eddie Segura. So I'm going to throw this to Tony. What are you thinking, Tony? Are we getting this guy back? Is he leaving? What's the story, man?
Honestly, I don't think he's leaving. The money has to be right at the end of the day. Like, he's an injured player. We do have there's a strength with him, especially with our back line, but came back. We developed him back to get injured. He gets injured before the final, and now he's quote unquote almost injury prone at this point. You know what I mean? So if the money's right at the moment, we can get him back up. He makes sense, but unfortunately, we can't just take every injured player and sew them back up, and then we sell them again like we did with DC United.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's still young, right? Eddie Segura is still a young dude. We think he's older because of how well he's played for us in the past, but he is still a young player in reality. So recovery should be real. I'm hoping he's coming back. I'll throw it to you, Araceli. Up or down, what do you think is going to happen?
I think there's a good chance that Segura is going to stay with the team because, as I mentioned on the show last week, JT had said in the press conference that talks with Segura are advancing. They want him to stay with the club. But as Tony said, the money has to be right. The deal has to be right. But after everything that I've heard, it looks like it's going in a positive direction. And I hope we do get to keep him at the end of the day.
Yeah, if he wants to be here, he's going to be here, which I think he does. He gets along solo with Chicho, with Murillo. There's a thing there, man, of course. And he's very involved in community events. I actually went to one where he was at. If you've ever talked to him, if you've ever been around him, he's done kickball with us. I mean, he's very much into the community. I can't see him going. If the pot's right, the pot's right, and it should happen. Bam, I'll have you last thoughts on this one, man.
He, as everyone said, one of my is right. I hope that we're at least offering something for why he's out injured. Show that we are really about caring for our players, all that kind of stuff. If he's out injured for 6 months, where it's just a 6 months contract, so he still gets something, all that kind of stuff, just to show that, hey, we do really care about you. We really want you here. Yes, you're injured. Yes, you may not want to come back, but here's us showing you some support and all that kind of stuff.
And there it is. He's coming. Now, that brings us to other faces that are now coming in. Some newish, some not so much. So let's talk about our newish signings that we got today, which will transition us to the next big story that we do need to talk about. Of course, that would be Daniel Crisostomo. Y'all know who he is. And then Abraham Romero, a goalkeeper. I saw some people on Twitter like, what are we doing? We'll talk about why this makes sense. I'm cool with it, knowing that we have to fill 2 teams. Simple as that. And when Crisostomo did play for us, it's not like he played bad. He just didn't have a spot. We were stacked last year. Really. We were really well off. He didn't have a chance because of how good we were. This is a different year. There is transition. There are people moving on. And yes, more opportunities. So with that being said, Araceli, I'm going to throw it to you. Thoughts on the signings and why do you think they're important?
I mean, looking at the 2 signings, obviously they're not the most glorious signings, not like big headlining news. But as I've already said multiple times, and even you just pointed it out, we have 2 rosters to fill out amid a very heavy schedule this season. So their signings are not surprise to me, but I would, if I'm thinking that they're going to be loaned to the secondary team, I could have more preferred to see them sign a next pro contract versus a first team contract. So it does kind of make me think a little bit of what is the club trying to do, especially now with this new goalkeeper. We have 4 goalkeepers on roster, and that's not including the keeper that we drafted. So, in a sense, I mean, with Crisostomo, he has had limited minutes with the club, and his performance wasn't bad, in my opinion. I agree with you on that. But maybe this is his opportunity to see more playing time, whether if it's with the first team or the secondary team.
Yeah, he's home. I think it works for him, which now it brings us to that. Again, I'm not going to react too heavy because I know what we have to do. We've got to fill space. Brings us to the dawn of LAFC too. Okay, and this is where these signings make sense. I will throw this. Tony, did you put the information down or did you want to run on this one? Or shall we hand it to Araceli?
Yeah, hand it to Araceli. She is our MLS Pro expert, and she can literally guide everyone here into what MLS Pro 2, what LAFC has to do, and everything with all the information that we need. So go, Araceli.
You have the floor.
Hey, we finally have a team name. LAFC 2. Is it the best name? No, I will agree to that. But hopefully, as time goes on, there could be a type of rebrand, or I'm excited to see if the fans come up with a nickname for it. A good example on this is like Columbus Crew 2. Their fans took the capybara and kind of made it their whole identity, not only for the supporter group, but for the team as a whole. Now, I'm not trying to suggest that LAFC fans need to go down and take Mickey Mouse to be the representative, but the point is, I'm curious to see what identity the team creates for itself beyond the obvious, because looking at it, it's basically the same colors, it's the same badge. The only difference is a 2 is added to it. The head coach is going to be Enrique Duran, who has actually been with LAFC since 2017, but last year he served as the head coach for the Las Vegas Lights. The team is going to be playing their games at Titan Stadium at Cal State Fullerton. More information on the coaching staff, the roster, the schedule. It'll be all released at a later time. But I mean, I truly am excited to see how this team progresses and how they'll compete in the upcoming season, because they are one of 7 teams that are joining. So there will be a total of 28 teams competing this coming season. And that's already going against experienced players from past seasons. And if you look at the history of some of the other teams, they've been around for a good amount of time. It's not like they were just created out of thin air. So I'm curious to know what your guys' thoughts are on it. Are you guys going to go to the games?
Well, for me, it's a lot closer. Of course, nothing beats LAFC, but I do have a good excuse since it's a very short drive for me. So that makes sense. And I've spent a lot of time at Cal State Fullerton's Titan Stadium watching other soccer games throughout history. I'm going way back, old stuff, but it's cool with me. I'm good with the location. I would have preferred the IE somehow, some way. I know Tony up there would prefer Northridge. I know you, sir. Right? Yep. But I guess this is a medium point. I guess that's how we're going to look at it. I know the field is well maintained, so it's safe for the players. It ain't turf, it's grass. That's kind of critical in a team that's developing and plays on grass on the top side. Yeah, there's a drop off there otherwise. So I am good with it. I am happy with it. Tony, your thoughts?
I'm happy with it. This is a new era where we actually get control of the full team instead of, just controlling the training and then they go to Vegas and do Vegas things is the best way to say it. It's going to be fun. We're going to see what the supporters call it, how many supporters in Orange County, because again, we do have a lot of support in Southern California at this point. Like, we've taken over Southern California. Doesn't matter if it's the pros, MSL, or anything. It's LAFC is SoCal now. It's not just, we are Los Angeles, but we are taking over Southern California and also Northern California. So it's going to be fun to watch those games and see players develop. And then it's going to go down to, now the next question is going to be, would you rather play for LAFC 2 and possibly get booted up into the first team, or do you go play USL and try to develop yourself and try to get signed by another first team from any other league?
It's hard to say. I don't have the top number in my head right now, but I'm pretty sure there's more MLS Next teams than USL teams this year, right?
I believe so. I know we've
Top
added
side, at least.
Well,
Right.
isn't it like going to be required that all MLS teams are going to have a MLS Pro team now, Araceli?
It's starting to lean towards that way. But in comparison with the USL, as most know, the USL had been partners for a very long time. You had the USL affiliates, and now with the creation of MLS Next Pro, I think that's giving the MLS teams full control, essentially speaking. And what's interesting about this league is that not only will MLS teams will have a secondary team, but there's also a lot of independent teams coming in too in the future years. Like, there's one in Cleveland. There's going to be one. I believe I feel like I'm skipping on this, but there are independent clubs as well. So they're not all MLS, which is fascinating in my opinion.
Rochester, right?
Right, Rochester.
That's the other one. Yeah. Now, Araceli, what should we expect from the USL or I keep saying USL because I'm just stuck on it, but MLS Next. What should we expect in terms of roster shuffle? Who do you tend to be like first team numbers moving into that team, rehabs? Like, what should we be looking at when it comes to MLS Next side? What do the teams usually do with those teams?
So again, they kind of treat it like how they did their USL affiliate. They could either loan out the first team players to the secondary team, and they do have the right to call them back at any point in the season. So, for example, LAFC goes to CCL, we lose a player to the injury for some unknown reason. They will have the right to call back some players from LAFC too if needed. And it could also work the other way around. Even if they have players signed to an LAFC2 contract, they can loan them up to the first team if needed. So it really kind of goes back and forth. And I think it is going to be beneficial in that sense, especially with injured players needing more time to recover and just kind of getting the playing time they need to get back to that full 90.
So in a way, you could say that MLS Next contracts, if you sign one, it's basically a two-way. You're with both sides.
It can be, yes.
Okay.
And that was something that I had seen in the last couple of weeks. I believe our 28th player had signed an MLS contract. So again, it really could be a two-way street, depending on how you look at it.
Excellent. And thinking about guys like Torres and others that have signed with us at an early age, this is what they need. This makes perfect sense. You could feature Saturday night for LAFC for a few minutes and then finish out your workout the next day for number 2. It's the right way to do things. It makes perfect sense for the league. We're in a good spot. So Araceli, you're going to be kind of our expert for LAFC2 going forward. You already know that because you're seeing MLS Next, you're seeing the results every week better than we're going to be able to see it, and you're kind of going to get the vibes. We know this. There's also a chance for us to also, I would say, kick the tires on other internationals that are young, right? That we signed to this team. We're not quite sure we want to invest in them as a foreign talent on the top side, but this is our chance to pretty much give them a shot at the lower division, right?
Oh, absolutely. I'm very curious to see which players are going to get playing time on either squad or who's going to be rotating consistently. So, I mean, I know I sound kind of like a broken record at this point by saying the possibilities are endless, but truly. And even like right now, if you look at the LAFC2 roster, our only player is Christopher Jaime. So I'm expecting some more signings to come down the pipeline soon.
And is the roster size the same as the top MLS side? Like it's just pretty much a mirror image?
It is.
It is. Okay. So that means 6 goalkeepers could be here soon. Right? I mean,
we're going to
3 and
be
3.
flooded with a lot of players, and there's going to be some questions. And again, how I said with Cristomo and Abraham, I would have preferred to see them as secondary signings, but I don't know. I don't know how JT works anymore, and quite honestly, I don't know if I want to know how his mind works.
I'm just happy his mind works for us. That's good enough. Bam, do you want to add anything into this before you transition on to the next story, sir?
I think I want to add into it is I think I remember seeing somewhere that we'll be able to watch most of their games on Apple as well. So that's something good to think of. But a signing I was hoping that the LAFC2 would sign, unfortunately can't happen because he just signed for Phoenix. And that's Danny Trejo.
Oh,
he signed for Phoenix. Yeah, today he got announced he signed for Phoenix.
And Cal Jennings signed with Tampa.
So weird. Okay. That's sad. But again, new chances for new players, right? What were they going to do for our side? Were they really going to be the kind of player that will eventually develop into a starting role for the top team? Let's be realistic about it. No. So if this is your potential team, you kick the tires on those. time to move on. The results for the big team are what matters most anyway. So that makes sense. All right. Last thing we want to talk about in terms of players, two things. Let's talk about potential players on the move. Brendan, any chatter about other players outside of Fall that might be moving on from us?
No. Again, the biggest surprise that he's still here is Sifu. I thought he'd be gone by now. There's a week left in the window for Europe, so got a week to make those decisions.
I have a funny feeling. You saw the rumors with Marco Royce. I'm not saying they're legit rumors, but we did play Dortmund. We have kind of a history with those guys. Could it be a case of maybe Cifuentes plays into the summer and then he moves on when maybe it's even more lucrative, right? More time to shop him, and certain players become available because their contracts are ending in Europe. Could that be what makes more sense? Maybe. I don't know. I'll throw you guys. Marco Royce as an LAFC player, yay or nay on this one? Does that sound kind of cool? Tony?
It'd be cool, but it's does he fill in a Gareth Bale leadership role that we already have here, or is he a showpiece for our Dortmund fans and our contingents that we have here to bring up tickets? Because then it falls back into, sorry to say, Carson's game plan and stuff like that. Again, I love the big new signings. I love everything like that, but it's not MLS 1.0 anymore. It's MLS 2.0, and it's not a Messi. It's not a Cristiano.
Yeah, how much do you want to invest, right? Except Marco Royce is, having seen him play, it would fit right in with what we do. So I'll just throw that out there. All right, so let's talk about another fun thing and a celebratory thing, especially if those guys are heading down to the stinky town of Carson this weekend. That would be international call-ups. Shout out to all our boys that got the call-ups. Shall we rattle them off? Aaron Long, USA. Kellen Acosta, USA. It's so weird saying Aaron Long, but that's what we're saying. And who's the other one playing for Colombia this weekend? Tony.
Chicho Arango.
Good news for him. Finally gets some minutes with Colombia. He's earned those minutes. I know it's the Camp Cupcake situation where it's not an official international match day, but still, he's wearing the colors. The coach, the manager's getting a look-see. He's earned it. It should happen that way. I have a feeling that Colombia is going to romp on the U.S. This weekend. Just have that feeling because that's how things are for U.S. soccer at this moment. But good on them. Good on them for making it. It's cool to see anytime our players step up and move up. So all good things there. It only helps us. All right. On that note, should we do community news now, Tony? Are you ready for this one?
We'll be ready as best I can. It's
boom. All right, moving on to community news. Let's go, sir.
So nothing has changed. Again, the meet and greets are coming full blast. There is the crew meetup on February 11th at the Angry Horse Brewing at 4 p.m. at 603 West Whittier Boulevard. They do have new gear. They have their championship gear available. So it'll, have fun. If you want to join crew, great bunch of people. Love Kobe over there. A couple other people are slipping my name at the moment. So have fun over there. Of course, there are our general meetup, which is Black Army. The meet and greet will be at Progressive Brewing at Saturday, January 28th at 5 p.m. Poche Street, South El Monte Street, 9624 will be the address. Sorry if I butchered that because I just realized I read it backwards a little bit. The Community Shield will be there. Get to meet me, Joseph, a lot more people from BA. Of course, my confidant and my right-hand man, Casey, of course, or my wing. So have fun. We also, on that day as well, we are also doing a blanket drive. So bring any new or used blankets that are clean, please. So we can give it out, especially in these cold days to the homeless and less unfortunate. And
thank you, sir, for the heads up. Yes, go for it.
There is one more, and the biggest one, of course, and the most funnest one, I would say, is the Flex Community Cup. I believe registration is still open. It is $100 for a full team. If you want to play but don't have a team, I believe Defenders can find you a team because there's still teams looking for players to fill. It'll be at the US 5 Center in Norwalk, California, Saturday, February 4th at 10 a.m. There'll be Flex demo promotions, giveaways, raffles, food. The cup will be there, of course. So if you have not taken a picture with the cup yet, this is your opportunity to be up close and personal. And of course, all proceeds go to benefit the Mo Facio Memorial Futsal Court.
Excellent time out there. I know Defenders is going to be working hard for that one, right?
Yes, they will. And Bam just gave me some new information. The 3252 membership, it will be open on February 26th if you want to join. Again, this is beneficial for the 3252 for, funds for TIFO, all the cool TIFOs that we do, all the cool fundraisers that we do that we need help out to do everything. Of course, register in your supporter group. This is very also big because this is how most SGs become like 3252 official members. I know there's a lot of people who do a lot of multiple groups at the same time, and just keep with one to get a ticket. But this is a way to set the bar of what we need for everything. And that's the bar that's never been changed since season 1. So if you are a part of Black Army, if you're part of, click Black Army. If you are a free agent, be a free agent and look around, see what you want to join. If you are Pride, pick Pride, Crew, etc., etc., etc. No new. I'll probably do another box opening of the goodies we get. Again, new scarf we use most of the time, so we'll finally have a star on that, and some more, maybe a new pin, maybe a bottle opener. Who knows what this year is going to be moving forward? So make sure when that opens, it was $35 with shipping, so $30 plus $5 in shipping. It goes towards helping us build these fantastic TIFOs and help with the community. So remember to join up. I'll keep mentioning it moving forward when the time comes every podcast. So that is it for community news.
If you are a member of one of the recognized official supporter groups, you can't be an official supporter group if your members aren't members of the 3252, because that is a community, right? They can't contribute. They can't be as involved as they need to be if their members aren't 3252, right? This is a huge community. It is one big piece of many hardworking groups, both official, both unofficial. Even if you're in a group that isn't officially recognized yet, your path to that, it's going to be a 3252 membership, right? That's where you stand and deliver. That's where you get counted. So if you want to grow within the community, got to be a part of the story, got to be a part of the group. That's essential. So when it comes out, I know that's the day it comes out, I'm putting mine in. That is how we do it. That's how you have to do it. I love the TIFOs that we do. We have the best in the league. We have the best away days in the league. That happens from hard work within people in the 3252, making sure that stuff gets ordered in time, tickets get ordered, things get negotiated. It is not easy getting tickets on the road for anyone. It's even harder for 3252 as a supporter group in the culture that we bring to make it happen. And so that's hard work. And that stuff can't happen unless 3252 is fully functional. So how do we do that? It's the memberships. It always comes back down to the memberships. Essential. So go for it, guys. Please do it when it opens up. And shout out to Aaron, who puts in so much work for membership to make these things happen. So all good to you guys. All right, let's move on to the Black and Gold Vinyl Club Minute. And everybody's looking at me all funny, like, what are we going to do for this song? Brenda, did you come in here and pull a sleeper again with another album? I have thoughts, but do you got a sleeper album on your hands there?
The only one I got really is the 1971 album Hunky Dory.
That's the one I was going for too.
Yeah. Tony's like, the 1971 album Hunky Dory? Who sings that? The one and only David Bowie.
Exactly. With the song Changes. Yeah. There's another song, Changes. Maybe he knows that one better.
I know that one,
song?
and I
Okay.
you know what's funny is I picked Changes as the podcast title to show that we're on tonight, and I just realized that as I was like, wait, what? And yes, the other song Changes is Tupac Shakur is in that one. I was going for that one, but I think Changes by David Bowie was a better pick for the one that I picked for the title.
All good things. 2 excellent songs, same title. We got 2 this week for the Vinyl Club Minute. All good things. All right. Got that covered. Before we move into preseason schedule, definitely I think it's time for reactions. What do you guys think? Long overdue. Let's throw it to you guys. Where are you guys at? What are you talking about? I know there's going to be some love for the boys, and that is fine. There should be. They've earned it. Here we go. It's Jibble is in the mix saying, yo, Burke is on. Good to see you again, Burke, on here supporting us. He says, what's up, party people? KC shouting out Burke. Of course, Casey's going to shout out Burke. All good stuff there. The nostalgia says it's Jibble. Yeah, we brought on the heavy hitters this week. That is for certain, and beyond happy to have them on. Defenders, of course, talking about Jerry, Podfather. Most of you, I'm sure some of you guys know how tight the podcast community has been over the years, and we always have called it the Pod Fam. But it wasn't the Pod Fam without Jerry pushing it, right? And making sure that we always had an open door to everybody, and didn't treat everybody that came in as some kind of hostile entity. No, there was a place for everyone, and that's how it's supposed to be. Because again, you can't kill the creativity. Creativity is what makes LAFC special. So as you see defenders on there, all love, guys. Jose Bernal in the mix. Smalls in the show as well. I like defenders. Boo Soccers. Dig it. Love it. I'm with you on that. I had a great time with the kids at the Empire Strikers game where defenders and Jonathan Reimer are pretty much bringing the energy to that. Again, the roots of LAFC are everywhere. And it was a good win against Dallas. My kids loved every bit of that. So thank you, Jonathan, for making that happen, dude. All love to you, sir. Let's see. Burke. Whoa, the new guy? That's funny. That's cool. Of course, he's joking about Jerry there. Ben getting love from defenders as he should. Love it. And Danielle, of course, part of the history. St. Louis is a fun town, the defenders say. I agree. Honestly, Missouri on both sides. Middle, not so much, but both sides of Missouri are actually pretty cool. Whether you go to St. Louis or go to Kansas City, you're in for a good time. Like, Araceli's laughing, but I know Kansas City's better than St. Louis, right, Araceli?
Yeah. There's not even a contest there.
No, there's not. There's not. I enjoy Kansas City every time I get to go. There's always something new to see. It's a good town. It's a good town. Now I have to test out St. Louis on an away day. It must be an away day. We'll see how that works itself out. Not sure about this season, but I'll find my way. That's for sure. LOL man is back in the mix. Let's see what else we got. Michael, not Mike, 805. Guten Tag. Good talk to you too, sir. It says, can you please explain the current LAFC DPS and under 22 players and club options on both? Man, if I knew that, I'd have a job with the team. It's complicated. I think we're due. I think we need to get one more under 22 DP player. We can get one more. Araceli, is that kind of what I'm seeing? Is we've got one slot left to really fulfill it properly?
I believe so. Because kind of like you, it's as confusing as trying to explain Tim and Gam. But looking at the roster, I think we do have one DP spot open.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be a young DP. Is from what I'm gathering from that.
I think it has to be. I think from everything that I've been able to find, read, and not have my brain explode on me is we either going to get rid of 2 of our under 22s to get us full DP, or we can sign a under 22 DP.
Confusing. We all know what John likes to do. We're going to get another young DP. That's how it plays itself out. And I'm not going to complain because another young, talented player that can show off and then move on for bigger and better things while picking up a second star for us, I wouldn't mind that at all. That's fine by me. Let's make it happen. So you got Edge in the mix as well. So it's nice to see Jerry here. I remember the first LAFC game, seeing him in 3252 with his baby and him handing me a Heart of LAFC podcast card. I think that did happen. That is true, sir. True. Wolf laughing at Tony. Oh gosh, there we go. Michael saying, "Good luck, Ben. Big fan of St. Louis sporting director Lutz Pfannenstiel. Got to say that correctly. Tons of Bundesliga experience. Yeah, I expect a top end Bundesliga like connect with that. We're gonna see some decent players going into St. Louis. It's gonna be pretty cool to see how it plays out. And they just protected Josh Sargent, I believe, in case he comes back. So that should be interesting because he's from there. So that should be interesting. Edge says, appreciate Joseph and Jerry bringing out the importance of the signage. Some people make it sound like it's not important at all. Like, why does it matter if we get 100 mil? It matters, man. It does. It's not something that, is going to ruin my day. Yes, we have nostalgia for logos that change, right? And I think that's kind of where it's at for a lot of us. And yes, Jerry and I being in that building before it was an actual building in the North End while they were building it. Having Ken the Falconer buzz me with Bond while he was practicing down there before there was even like a proper field, it was pretty wild. I mean, the field was there, but things were not put together yet, and that was kind of my introduction to Ken as he buzzed me with the bird. Cool memories we had, and that'll be the bank. That'll always be the bank. And I've already tried to transition to BMO, and I honestly, it's going to take me 2 years to figure this out. I still call it the bank. I can't help it. It's just in there, So, Edge, it's okay, man, to be nostalgic about this. It's good to be nostalgic about this. We have great history with it. Celebrate it. But, it's good to also be open to what could come from this team, from this new sponsorship. And, what I've seen in Canada and what they've done with the teams over there. I think there's some positive things, and they're going to be more. So this is the truth. They're going to be more active than Bank of California we're ever going to be, probably even in the first year, because of how they handle soccer. Okay. And this sport, they've got a good pedigree with it. So I think it'll grow on you because of their community activities. That's where I think it's going to go. Yeah, it looks a little different, but I think you're going to have a positive spin once you get to know them. Michael, there's 10 million reasons why reason to condone the BMO logo. Yeah.
Well, isn't like BMO already giving the first giveaway is going to be a hat celebrating our championship with LAFC?
Not surprised. It's going to be a premium type of giveaway, right? Not some cheapy thing. Not another credit card holder by 27 different companies. It's going to be something nice. Dig it. That's cool, Tony. I didn't even see that. Well done, sir. Michael, this is going to be a debate. I'm cool with this debate. Michael, not Mike, 805. Now, if the rumors of that ugly greenish away jersey is true, then we should be pissed. All right. I'm going to throw this to you guys. Bam. If it's the green one, which we're not saying it is. Seriously, we're not saying it is. Your thoughts?
I've seen some ugly tops in the past for different teams, all that kind of stuff. But then when you see him in person, you sit and go, actually, it's not too bad. I'm gonna stay on the fence until I see it in person. Like, yes, I'll be buying one regardless. I buy it every year. I buy the top every year. So until I see it in person, to me, I don't really have a say.
Nice. Tony?
We'll see when I see it in person. They always look a little bit better in person than in the pictures. Again, this is actually more of a nostalgia piece at the end of the day. It's the first jersey with the star that's going to be getting it as the new jersey. Unfortunately, it's not the black one, but it's this new confirmed, not confirmed, greenish jersey. But again, it goes back to a certain moment in history, and this is why we went with that color.
Agreed. I dig it because of the way the LA looks on it. It's not a normal shield. If this is what it's going to be, it's actually the LA, and that will be kind of a different vibe. I'm a little selfish on it since I'm going to Costa Rica. That looks like a nice kit to wear when you're hiking. I'm just saying, it kind of blends in. It's earth tones, and okay. And it's light, so I'll definitely be taking this to Costa Rica with me because I think it's got a good vibe. It does look a little bit like the Predator. I will say that. It kind of looks just like the Predator in terms of color scheme, which is a little weird. But, Arsenal's Bruised Banana became a thing, and now that's like a legendary kit that everybody wants because it looks cool, right? Wasn't that great when it came out at first. It was just a weird color, but it grows on people. We'll see how it plays out. Defenders, never going to change. Love it. Edge did bring up RAA as a possibility. Not good. I mean, we saw that pop up, and thank goodness we're not connected to Atletico Madrid today. Y'all saw the stories, that's their big sponsor. So yeah, dodge one there. Jerry did give you guys a send off. Love you guys. See y'all soon. We will see him soon, definitely, for some previews. Dave reacting to fall coming in said it was awesome. The LAFC La Liga connection is strong. The Villarreal connection is freaking strong. Pretty cool there. Yep. Michael, not Mike 805 says Falls alone is probably why Steve Buick, I mess up his name forever, is taking a chance at LAFC. I think so too. It definitely, he can bounce around, and he will. Ooh, Don Frasa. I'm gonna throw this up there. Has got something heavy to say here, so we're gonna run it. He says MLS should be 16 teams each conference, 30 regular conference, 4 interconference games. And the interconference games should be position match from last season. Example 4E, top 4W. I will throw this, and he also said the conference winner should be the team that finished first in each conference in a regular league play. So it's very important. The playoffs should be 16 teams, groups of 4. World Cup format. I mean, possibly there are rumors that it will be a World Cup type of format anyway. Right. They haven't talked about the playoffs yet, except the rumors. And I was hearing there was a group stage related to it, which is wild to me after playing so many games in a year. Great. 60 games later. Could be interesting. I will throw this to you. I'm okay with the conference alignment simply because travel is too far. And maybe less cross-country stuff that we deal with, the better. So the conferences, to me, I would definitely harden them in terms of schedule, and you won't play many teams over there, because again, the travel is hard on the players, and at this point with so many games, it's a little rough, man. So we'll see, Don, what it's gonna be. We really don't know what the playoff format's gonna be at this point, but something tells me with all these teams expanding, they're not gonna have a choice. They're going to have to find a way to split teams off and not play each other, and it will be complicated. I remember a time where there were 3 divisions in MLS. How weird is that? They've aligned and realigned so many times that I can't remember how crazy it is, but it's been crazy for the league. So they're not past it. They're pretty open to these things. And yeah, World Cup format is something I've heard one too many times to think that it's not a real thing. So there's that. Bam, do you want to add in on that?
What I'd like to see, and it's similar to what Don's saying, is when the MLS gets to 40 teams,
Yeah.
Split one season only, East and West. You only play East, you only play West.
Yeah.
And end of that season, top 10 from each go to MLS 1, bottom 10 from each go to MLS 2, and that's your pro rail right there. That from then on,
fun.
You've got the top 20 teams, bottom 20 teams, promotion relegation in that, and go from there.
Man, it's gonna be down the line before they do something like that, but you could see it. You could definitely see it. The other thought is, I know Argentina, I guess you play just the team once, right? And then it's kind of the flip of the coin, whether it's an away or a home, or yeah, they're really gonna have to limit things as they get bigger. That's for sure. It's gonna be tough. We'll see what happens. Michael says if Segura doesn't sign, I hope he doesn't sign with Carson. No, there's plenty of other teams that I think want him. You've seen him play. I think he's holding on because he wants to stay here. That's why it's taking so long. If he was going to move on, he would have moved on. And there's still options for him as training camp kicks off pretty soon. He also mentioned Northwood would have been a better option for LAFC too. No competition, OC and Carson, and closer to me and Oxnard. Yeah, we'll see down the line where they end up. Again, this isn't their ground. And at one point, this is going to expand to the point where they're going to have to break ground on something. Don't be surprised if it ends up there anyway. Just for now, this is where they're at. I think it's come so quickly that it's impossible to really just lay a stake on something at this point. So we'll see. It's interesting that I thought LACT team would unload our youth players, but it seems to be the same as LVL, where we loan them our younger supplemental players. LSC roster doesn't change. Actually, I do know, what was it, last week or the week before, our academy players, from what I understood, the older ones, actually were trying out for this team. So it's legit, like promotion to be professional. This is their best path forward. Not just the big boys, but this is their chance to go pro quicker. So they actually were having competitions to see who was good enough to come up already from the academy. So you could see an influx. Expect an influx. Thoughts on the Albert Ellis rumors? I could say I think they're real to a point. Other things would have to move to make it happen because he's not young, right? But he could have definitely he could contribute here. He'd have way better service here than everywhere that he's been outside of overseas. So we'll see. We'll see. I think there's something to it. Possibly. Daniel Angel says, just signed Royce my FIFA LAFC career on a free. Hey, good move, man. Good move. He's older, right? But I will tell you, dude, from what I've seen, his vision, the way he plays with the ball, the way he's comfortable with it in possession, I think y'all would be impressed if he's healthy. And this is where the healthy comes in. Michael knows this because he watches it. Marco Royce is way too injury prone. He would be ideal signing for St. Louis or Chicago as a marketing signing. Yeah, I think it's more likely he'll head over there. Chicago seems to be throwing money at things right now. Houston's throwing money at things right now. And yes, injuries have been an issue for him in the past. Again, when he's healthy, man, I do love the way he plays. Let me see here. Dave Gomez says, I need him to sort out joining with a foreign address for 3252. Bam knows that story, right?
That quick look over was the most hilarious part. I know the people listening to this can't see it, but that quick look over as soon as Joseph finished that statement, it was a snap. I was just like, oh, what?
I thought is, why am I reading this and why is Bam not reading this? That's the first thing I thought. I'm like, dude, this was a mistake. He should have read this one. But yeah, Dave, I get you, man. Like, Bam, I'll just you got the floor, dude. You do it. You react, sir.
So for the last 5 seasons, I've been pushing for 2 things. 3252 to stand internationally. LAFC to have an international membership. That's the big thing I've been pushing for. Now, the international membership I'm pushing for is obviously we won't have tickets to every game because obviously we won't be there. But have it so every year we get sent a membership box with like a scarf, a hat, access to some discounts for if you do go to LA, we can get a cheaper ticket, or we get access to a ticket at a game. Obviously, not against Carson, all that kind of stuff. Be able to book for stadium tours if we go over there or something like that. Something so that when we can get over there, we can feel more joined in the family with the LAFC and all that kind of stuff. That's some things I've been pushing hard for. So I'm keep pushing for it. More people want to push for it. Just try and get the LAFC membership emails and start spamming the emails. This is what I want. This is what I want. I want to support the club somehow. Because can you imagine LAFC? We have a 22,000 seat stadium, but we have 40,000 members.
Bayern, most members of any team in the world, right? They're active with it. It wouldn't be a bad idea. I know we've bugged Rich about this, right? Right, Bam? We've talked to people. Trust me on this, and we will still keep talking, Dave. Don't worry, Dave. We're in your corner, man. No doubt about that. All right, I'm gonna move forward to this one. Oh man, trash can says Defenders of the Bank and Heart of LAFC need an episode together. That'd be great. I think we're all down for that. I think dude, definitely, man. It's there.
It's been a while.
We just got to figure out the logistics, but we're in. Yes, for sure. Go Bam. Go Bam.
It's been a while since we've had an episode together.
Yeah. Yep. And Defender says they're down, so obviously something's in the works. There we go. It just became in the works, right, Tony? It's happening. He's like Tony was in 3 days ago, probably a week ago. We already know this. Tony's got this, so he'll be on before me, but we all go on at the same time. Yes,
I'm just a social butterfly when it comes to people, but other
community builder, man. Give it a different vibe. Building community.
Social butterfly.
You own, community. That's what it is. Let's see. Burke, I love this comment. Says the most exciting team in MLS, and Adidas is basically putting them in camo. Maybe they're setting us up for the camo bad luck that y'all gave 3252 all kinds of hell about a few years ago when we showed up in camo in Carson. Maybe they're like, well, the only chance that Carson has is if we throw them in camo. I hope that's not the case, but that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Again, to me, I'm going to go hiking with this, man. Am I going to go to a game with it? Probably not, but I'll go hiking with it. Edge is giving it an homage to 420. That's pretty funny, man. Edgar says it's the green jersey. Looks like an olive green based on reversible jacket color. Yeah, it's different. It's different. Maybe we could use it to defeat the Empire on Endor or something. It's got a vibe. It does. And he says Vela had his black reversible jacket zipped down enough during MLS Media Day to see the green color. He did? He gave it away by accident? Is that what we're saying? Dun, dun, dun. See, I had to work today. I could not get away from my desk. I missed it, but there it is. I'm sure that's going to be all over Twitter soon. Araceli, you want to add into that one?
I just wanted to add real quick. I was actually looking at that earlier, that he was wearing a new jacket because it was media day, but for the higher up media, do footage with the players, so on. And some of them have already released photos of their interviews, and you can see them with the primary jersey, with the star. And there's even one of McCarthy in a full red keeper kit. Kind of looks like he's playing for Spain's team, in my opinion, but the photos are out there.
Keepers always get a raw deal in this league. Their kits are always the worst, honestly. Except when they do the black kit, it looks kind of cool, but we can't wear that one. It's always ugly. So maybe it's happening. Maybe it's happening. No confirmation on our end, but it looks like in photographic evidence is there. So, oh yeah, we'll debate this when it's official. All right, guys. Thank you for your comments today. It's been awesome. You guys are thorough on this, and again, giving the love to the boys is always a good thing to all of us. It's cool, super cool. All right, last thing I'm going to just touch on is the preseason games that are left, and then we are out of here for another episode. Preseason schedule: basically, we've got a game on Saturday against New York City FC. Can't tell you where it's at, but I think the last one they played actually at the Performance Center. So yeah, it's probably there again with the weird quadrants that we saw, which makes sense, right? You're developing things, makes sense. So we'll see what happens on that one and what time that kicks off. They'll keep us all posted. Beyond that, on Monday already, the 6th, they got to play DC United at the Empire Polo Club. Toronto FC on the 11th, same place, Empire Polo Club. I did see that the package. Got an email from AEG about like $99 for a day pass. Some crazy price like that where you get to watch all the games.
Mm-hmm.
Man, can't you just go for one? But no, you're buying in for all the games, and there's like VIP packages. Because what else would AEG do but try to make every single bit of dime out of this thing? So, yeah, it's definitely getting the vibe of spring training baseball, and they're trying to sell that now with soccer. That's what I could see from that. So we'll see how those go. And then, of course, San Diego Loyal on the 18th, 5 p.m. kickoff at the bank. Hope to see you all there. Hope to see Jerry there as well. And of course, in the lead up to that, we'll definitely do a preview with Jerry. It has to be. And that is the schedule. All right. Show nearly complete. Of course, traditions must dictate. So let's get into it, which would be the final comments from everybody. And of course, thanking you guys. So I am going to start this off with Araceli. Final comments.
Final comments are simple. It was a joy to see Jerry and Ben. I'm truly very excited to see Ben here in the Midwest, not only as my rival, of course, but just off the field, generally
You
speaking.
have a friend.
Because,
I said, you have a friend now.
you guys still need to come to KC to visit, okay? I'm just going to leave it out there as that. But regardless, either way, it really just, I mean, just even seeing Jerry alone was truly nostalgic because, as I mentioned, like back in 2015, just getting that random phone call, and now look at us years later. It's really exciting. I mean, things are progressing, especially, you know, with the team. LAFC 2 is finally announced, and it's just shaping up to be a really cool season.
Agreed. Oh, man. Good stuff. All right. I'll go to Bam. Final comments there.
Again, great seeing Jerry. Great seeing Ben off. Gonna miss Ben, you know, writing for us and all that. We'll still see him around in traps. We'll see him on social media. Keep bugging him to find out where their players are staying before they play us. So, you know, we can keep him up all night because Ben will give us that information, won't you? Yeah. For everyone else, like biggest thing today is just seeing Jerry, speaking to Jerry again. It's been such a long time since you've done that. If you think about one of your friends you haven't spoken to in a while, go say hi to him, give him a call. You know, just ask the question, are you okay? Conversations can change lives. That's one thing we're definitely be pushing this year again on these episodes. Is just conversations can change lives. You know, just saying hi can bring someone out of a funk and all that kind of stuff. So just look after each other, keep well, and speak to your friends.
100% on that. Life is precious. Keep them here. All you gotta do is talk. Dialogue wins the day. It does. It really does. People just want to know you care. Let them know you care. Straight up. I'll bring it over to Tony, sir. Your final comments today.
Final comments of the day is pretty much, since it's a new year, I know a lot of people have made New Year's resolutions, and they usually go out by second month, by February. The challenge I have for everybody else is, honestly, don't do New Year's resolutions. Do it now. Do it even before the year starts, and just do it. There is so much information out there now where oh, I don't know how to do this. It's literally look up on a YouTube, look on a forum, anything, whatever you want to do it. This year, be the better you. You know what I mean? Change is scary, but you're going to push yourself into a situation where, as you've seen the alums here, Jerry working with USL, indoor soccer, not having to work plumbing anymore and doing his passion. Same with Ben, was doing writing for us for free, now is working with an MLS team and doing what he wants to do. So use them as inspirations to just start whatever you want to start doing moving forward. Change is scary and sometimes things happen for reasons. But this year, I challenge everyone to do what you want to do and be a better you.
Love it, man. Well said. Yeah, people don't realize how much of a risk Jerry took to make this leap into the football culture of working in the game. It was never a steady job with me growing up, so it wasn't a focus. Now they are. Now these are real careers. Back then it was like, if you jump on with a team, yeah, they might last 4 years, probably 2. Now, no, it's a different world. So take the leap if you can. Prep, make it happen. The jobs are real. The opportunities are real. You just have to take them. Got to be aggressive about it, and you could take them. So, yes, don't fret. Just work. Just work. Get your name out there, and be positive. I think that's essential. So good on that. Who knows who the next will be from the Heart of LAFC? But it does seem like we're a bit of a pipeline. If LAFC is a pipeline to La Liga, I guess Heart of LAFC is the pipeline to the world of soccer employment in the United States. So there we are. And no, guys, the joke about Mazatlan wasn't real. I didn't get a job with Mazatlan. I know it would be fun to say I did. It didn't happen, but I had to throw that out there because people did think it really happened. It didn't happen. So, all right. My final comments is, again, being thankful to all of you guys tuning in. We got 18 on here right now, all late, really long show today, and they're still sticking it out. All love to you guys for doing that. The comments were awesome today. And, of course, the people are the best. Thank you, Araceli. Thank you, Bam. Thank you, Tony, for doing what you do. Thank you, Jerry, the Podfather, coming on again. We had a great conversation earlier today, and it just continued into tonight. That was awesome, and we'll be hearing from him soon. And, of course, Ben, all love to you. What you're going to do, we're just so happy for you, man, and we know that you earned it. You 100% earned it. It's all you, man. We were just here having a fun time together, but you made it real, man, and keep doing what you do. Final thing I'm going to say to everybody, of course, the final word. So, Araceli, final word?
Stay golden.
Bam.
Stay golden.
Tony.
Stay caffeinated, Los Angeles.
And from me to all of you, stay golden, Los Angeles.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.